Hey, I'm Cece Summers, and welcome back to a slasher dating simulator. The last time we were here at Camp Crystal Lake, we were consoling a small child who said he saw a monster by the lake, and we are going to go confront said monster at said lake. And I am not scared at all. Alright, we're crouching behind a tree in the middle of the woods in the dark with a small child who is going to scream and rat us out at any moment. Things are looking really good for us right now. I felt my throat lock up, sweating despite the cold of the late evening, and feeling my heart hammering away in my chest. Okay, when I say run, you need to run, okay, Marcus? Don't look back or stop. The boy nodded frantically, tears pricking his eyes again as the sound of heavy footsteps came closer and closer. The more I listened to it, the more I realized I recognized what creature it was. There wasn't a camper alive who didn't recognize the heavy growling of a grizzly, and while they had every right to be in the forest, it didn't make the fear of being attacked any better. They were still territorial, and they were camping in their backyard after all. My hand pats the ground, feeling for anything that can be used as a distraction, and finally I found purchase against a heavy rock, swallowing around the lump in my throat before peering around the trunk of the tree where we both hid behind. At the sight of the lumbering mass of shadow, I was quick to pitch the rock in the opposite direction of camp, watching as the animal flinched and let out a ferocious roar into the night air. Color left my face, my body, if I had a mirror proper to see it, I imagined, but fortunately it took off running in the direction of the noise, and it gave me enough time to push the young boy in the direction of the campsite. Go! Marcus wasted no time, nodding and whimpering as he ducked in and out of the tree line, disappearing into the night and toward the safety of the camp. My legs felt like jello, and I rolled my head back, exhaling shakily as I opened my eyes and took in the shifting expanse of leaves the tree canopy provided. Okay, Cece, we've got two choices here. Go left, back towards camp, or go right towards the sleeping bags. I think we probably need to go check and make sure all the other campers are okay, because he said there was a group of them. And if there's a grizzly bear running around, we gotta make sure that everybody's, in one location around the fire, right? That's what a responsible camp counselor would do. And I'm like 70% responsible, like just enough to care about like the really big things. So let's go find these children, I guess. It should be gone now, and I know I saw those sleeping bags across the way. If I can see what the tracks look like, I can definitely confirm if it's a bear or not. I stepped carefully from around the tree, standing still for what felt like an eternity before the forest fell back to the eerie quiet and faint hum of cicadas I was so familiar with. The animal had gone a lot farther than I anticipated it to, but judging by my own careful, quiet steps, it likely thought I had gone. Good, I thought. I began to crouch forward a bit, quickly moving across the other side of the trail and tucking myself behind another tree trunk. A few more moments of absolute stillness, and then I started to creep forward toward the sleeping bags. I don't know what these kids were thinking, trying to sleep out here on their own, even without a massive scary thing running around. Yeesh. Kids are dumb. Kids are very dumb. There was plenty of destruction to be seen, that much was certain. Claw marks and evidence on gnawing any surface worth its salt, and what was left of the sleeping bags was scattered across the forest floor. I scooped the remains of what looked like Marcus's stuffed dragon into my hands and frowned, letting out a saddened sigh. Poor guy didn't survive rows of teeth. I'm not surprised. I think Fern knows how to sew, though. I'll have to get this fixed up for him. If I hadn't been so on edge, I might not have noticed the sound of movement off in the distance. I snapped my head in its direction, staring hard until the sounds of footsteps crept closer and closer, feeling my fight or flight kick in. My eyes darted around, settling on a heavily sticker-bombed hydro flask left by one of the kids, and pulling it into my grasp before starting to shuffle back into the bushes, shrinking myself the best I could. I watched, ignoring the sting of sharp thorns pricking my thighs and forearms, and waited for what was lurking in the shadows to come. I saw someone kill somebody with one of these things in a horror movie once. I'm not going out without a fight. I don't know if you've ever been hit with a hydro flask or any like large insulated like hard water bottle. It fucking sucks. Whatever pep talk I felt the need to give myself, had this been a horror movie, surely it would have spelt my very certain doom. While I was hyping myself up to jump out at what was coming, it had more than found its way behind me, breaking a few branches as it passed the threshold of the tree line and entered the area I had been hiding in. I remember springing upward, spinning on my heel and swinging openly with the hydro flask out before starting to plummet backward onto my ass. With a heavy thud, I hissed, blindly, eyes closed, let out a poor attempt at a battle cry. Ah! I taste like crap! Back the hell up! That'll show him. My arm grew heavier and heavier, swinging at the air, waiting for it to connect when... Wait, why weren't any of my swings connecting? I cracked my eyes open, blinking away shock, when above me didn't stand a 9-foot bear, but an almost 7-foot man, none other than... Jason, how did you find me? The head counselor looked down at me, grabbing my wrist gently and pulling me to my feet before looking at the dirt trail behind us. It took squinting to see he had followed my footprints. I planted my hand against my face in embarrassment, but all he did was chuckle lowly and start pulling debris free of my hair and clothes. I extended out the mauled stuffed animal, brushing Jason's knuckles as I left it in his hand. I peered out, looking to see if the animal had crept up on the two of us while he spoke, but let out a sigh of relief to see only the same brush and dark forest I had seen earlier. I moved to start walking, but before I could, I felt myself pulled into the embrace of the head counselor, and my face heated up for possibly the 100th time that day. Jason? He held the hug for a little while longer, allowing me to snake my arms around his form too in a comforting squeeze. I smiled to myself, pulling away and watching his hands, rapt. When Marcus got back, I thought the worst. I was worried about you. I smiled more, and while it might have confused him, I couldn't help it. He was worried about me? My heart skipped a beat. I wanted to make sure the kids would be safe. I'm not sure if it means that, but at least I have peace of mind that those three weren't some animal's late-night snack. Speaking of, I could really use another s'more. You? The counselor rolled his eyes, placing a hand at the small of my back and guiding us out onto the trail where we'd head back to camp. It was better to make sure the kids didn't spread any wild rumors based off a mountain lion or a harmless bear cub. Oh well, more for me then. Oh no, that's it! That's it. Okay, so going to the website, it looks like the team that made this game had to take kind of a hiatus. They split up, and this creator is looking for a team of people to kind of collaborate to start turning out more content. It looks like the next big update for it is going to be Valentine's Day, barring that nothing goes wrong. But if you are interested in becoming part of that team, becoming a writer or an artist, go ahead and reach out to them at @slashersim or @radcowboylad, and maybe you could offer your help and be a part of this really cool project. All right, I'm gonna put all of those links. Alright, I'll put all of those links in the description if you wanted to check out the game, check out supporting, or check out just reaching out and joining the team. It would be really cool to see if we can get something out. And once there's any updates on this game, I'll go ahead and play them through. Hopefully we can see the end of this Jason saga and get somebody new. That'd be awesome. Anyways, happy slashing, and I'll see you next time.